Now on to number 4, which is also 2 secants. For number 4, the information that we have is that is this image. So we have a total of 15 on the top and a total of 22 on the bottom. We have an outside of X on the top and we have an inside of 12 on the bottom. Okay. Now, do we have enough information in order to solve the problem as it is? Well, yes and no. We have enough information, but not necessarily everything is written out as we need it. Now remember, the formula is outside times total equals outside times total. We have the outside and the total of the top, secant, but we don't have the outside of the bottom. Now how could we figure that out? Well, on the last problem, on number 3, in order to find the total, we added them together. So if we know the total and we know the inside, if I subtract the inside from the total, then I'd get the outside. So 22 minus 12 gives me 10. So I find the outside is 10. Now I can proceed with my problem. So outside times total, I didn't have to add anything because it just tells me the total on this one, equals outside times total. So x times 15 is 15x. 10 times 22 is 220. And we divide by 15. And both of these are factors of 5, so we know it simplifies. And x becomes 44 thirds. And we're going to do one more of the 2 secants. Okay, on number 5, the information we know is that the inside of the top is 4, the outside is x, the inside of the bottom is 7, and the outside is 5. So, based on my formula, the top, the outside is x, the total is 4 plus x, or you could say x plus 4, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and say x plus 4. And I'm going to set that equal to the outside of the bottom times the total, 7 plus 5, which is 12. Okay. Now when I distribute, we run into a new type of problem. X times x, remember, means you have an exponent, x squared. And then x times 4 is 4x. And 5 times 12 is 60. Now, within this problem, what happened is that we have 2 different x values, or 2 different types of x variables. And so we won't just be able to simply solve for x like we did on the last 2 problems. We'll have to do a skill that we learned in algebra, which was called factoring. So in order to factor, the first thing you have to do is set equal to 0. You have to set the whole thing equal to 0, which means I'm going to subtract my 60 to the other side, which gives me x squared plus 4x minus 60 equals 0. Then we have to remember the pattern of factoring. And when we have a trinomial, we set up our binomials in order to solve. Remember, x times x is x squared. Now, in order to remember the numbers, the pattern we learned that you're finding multiples of your constant, your c, that add to your middle term of b. Okay, so we're looking for factors of 60, negative 60. And put my negative sign in there, negative 60, that add to positive 4. Okay, well, let's think about our factors. Okay, so we have factors like 1 and 60. Is there any way that multiplying 1 times 60 would somehow add to a value of 4? No, so that's not going to work. So let me just keep thinking about factors. 2 and 30, is that ever going to add to 4? No. Okay. 3 and 20, never going to add to 4. And so we keep going up with ideas with our factors. So now looking at the rest of my factors, which one do you think works out? We want factors that somehow would add to 4. Keep in mind that one of them has to be negative. So I'm going to give you some time to think about that and check in on the next video.